This is Clix on the Barbie. Join us as we talk about Clix in Australia, current heroclix happenings, and a dash of meta. Welcome to Clix on the Barbie, episode 25. Yay, we made it. I'm Ben Jones, and with me I have Chris Rizzi.
How's it going?
And later on tonight, we hope to have Bobby Kriesman join us as well. In this episode, we're going to be talking about heroclix that we've played of late. We'll also be looking at some of the YouTube videos we may have seen of lately. Talking a little bit about the War of the Realms set, which is about to be released here in Australia, and just some other general things. We believe it won't be a long podcast tonight, as we're starting to get back into it after having a bit of a break. So let's turn on the gas, light the Barbie, and let's talk some Clix. I guess the first thing to talk about, Chris, is that we've taken a bit of a hiatus for the last few weeks. I'm thinking that's because as we've headed back to work and things after our summer holidays, it's just got pretty busy, and finding the time to connect has also been really hard. Does that sound right for you?
Yeah, no, that sounds about right for me. It's me trying to look after my two kids while the wife's at work, and if I can get them down sound enough. I mean, I don't give them a whole bunch of cough medicine to make them go sleep, but I try to get them down good enough that they're out for a while. So that's my only issues, usually late at night.
Yeah.
So
I think for me, it's as soon as I went back to work, it sort of became a bit of night work that I've got to do to prepare lessons and mark books and things like that, and so it just was a bit crazy. But we're good to go again for tonight, which I really like, and we want to share a bit about our heroclix play and just again talk some heroclix. So Chris,
yep.
I guess we usually start with a good, the bad, and the ugly. How's your week been?
It's been busy at work, which is not bad. It gives me time to just catch up on things, which is good. I work road construction, so that means I get to run equipment, and then usually get to listen to podcasts and stuff, which is good.
Nice.
Yeah. Both my kids are doing excellent, and the wife is doing good also. So I got no complaints here.
That's the way to be. No complaints is
Sorry.
always nice.
I do have one complaint, and that's from my wife about having the kitchen table full of heroclix while I'm trying to sort them out.
Ooh.
So it's been like this for about 3 weeks, and she still hasn't divorced me yet, so we're going still good.
Oh, you know it goes strong then if you're able to leave the Clix on the table for 3 weeks. That's really nice. I know my wife would tell me to take them outside and put them in the shed, where I've managed. I'm fortunate to have a pretty big shed, and I can leave mine all set out, and it just makes it nice and easy to organise, and I don't have to disturb her with my heroclix mess. So
yeah, see, I got a shed too. My collection was out there, but then I thought I'm going to try to part away with some of these things, and brought it all in the house to do, and just kept putting it off. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Cool. Okay. So have you played any heroclix of late, Chris?
Yes. We've gotten 2 games back in store. I've played against 2 of our players. The first one was Brendan. He actually showed up for 1 game, and then 3 weeks later, Hang showed up. So they're good local players. I think we're going for a 3-week, every 3 weeks game.
Yep.
Our next one's going to be on March 6th, and I'm hoping the other guys can show up together instead of just playing 1 round.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be pretty good.
Yeah, and when you take your time out to go, it's always good to have see if you can play more than 1 game. But just getting a game in is always really great. Did you?
Well,
there you go.
The first game we played was me and Brennan. It was 300 points. I believe we played 2 games. It was 1 game I played Secret Six, another I played, I think, X-Men.
Yep.
I could play those 2 games in the 3 hours that we had, which was great. The next game, Hang actually chose the game, and it was 400 points. Every character had to be under 50 points.
Ooh.
And that game took 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
We actually got kind of shoved out the door because they were closing. So it wasn't too fun, but it was a good time to see him and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah,
it
and
was good.
sometimes it's about the catching up as well when you get to play. You get to play Clix, but it's also about catching up. Yeah, those games where lots of low point characters are long kinds of games. I've always found. So
Yeah,
I totally understand that. And you obviously enjoyed catching up and playing.
yeah, it was really nice. Yeah, I enjoyed it. And then I should say I played Bobby in the tournament league
I
last weekend,
yes.
and he beat me. Uh, I'm very, very grumpy about it. Actually, not really, but anyways, uh, he got to pick his own boosters, and I can't wait until he actually listens to this and I kind of shit on him. He got to pick his own boosters because he runs the league, so that's how he had a Venom Rogue. Uh, and she kind of messed me up a little bit, but uh, we had fun. It was a great time. I like playing with Bobby. He's a very good player.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed playing against Bobby as well. He is good fun to play against. And yeah, it keeps it interesting, and he's a good player as well. He's a former national champ, so it makes
Yep.
sense.
Well, when you get to pick your own boosters, yeah, you are a champ. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, I know when I look back at, so we're still working through our Empire Sealed in our virtual league, and when I look back and I go, man, there was so many better boosters that could have been got there because we had like I've always thought I could have mulliganed mine because there would have been plenty of boosters to do that with, but yeah, that and I'm happy with you to go with that. If he was the one who picked the boosters, he's probably maybe picked some really good ones for himself. But I know I've had so I'm still waiting on my second game against Wesen, but I've played against Darren, and he got me in the end. But it was just a really good fun game. I enjoy playing against Darren. He's just good fun to play against, and look, again, it's a nice fun thing to do to keep us connected in Australia. So
Yeah, it is. It's a great time.
yeah. For myself, Chris, we had a small event today at the shop, and with that event, we just had four of us, and it was pretty casual. I guess a casual 300 points. I played a Scrolls team. I guess if you go call that casual, but it was a team which had three pie box in it. One of them was at 75, and two of them were at 50. And then I played the Fantastic Four Scrolls. And they're all 30 points each, so it was a cheap, common, uncommon kind of team, and it was good fun to play. Lots of rolling for shape changes, and I was actually using Mr. Fantastic. I was getting him in to poison people, and so it was really good fun. I went 2-1 for the day, so that was always good. I lost to a team which had a Cosmic Deadpool, the play at home Wolverine in it. It was actually just a really nice team. I just had trouble hitting it. I hit Deadpool to his stop click, but I just couldn't get past that to take him out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was still good fun. And I heard that he got hit to that stop click a few times, but we just couldn't finish him off. And we also had an X-Men team there, another X-Men team, which was Cyclops and Rogue and Beast and Storm, and so it was just a sort of normal looking X-Men team, but it did have Dazzler, Jubilee, and Jean Grey, and that Dazzler can give the shield team ability to both Jean Grey and Jubilee, and so next to Cyclops had a 10 range, he had his 11 attack, and they've all got enhancement as well, so he had like 6 damage, so that Cyclops just sort of sat up at the end and was just shooting people as they tried to come in at him. So that was really interesting, that guy's team. The one I did like the most was one of the boys, I guess, who comes along. He played a team which had Doppelganger, Uatu, it had Hobgoblin, and then it had 8 Tongs in it. So
Oh, really?
yeah, these 8 tongs just run around the map. He's a guy who just sort of goes, "Cool, I really like these figures. I'm going to play them today." And so that was really interesting with tongs running around everywhere, and it just looked interesting. And so yeah, we had a really good, fun, close game, him and I. So it was really good. It's just good to continue to get out there and keep playing. My shop is we've been sort of bit higgledy-piggledy when we play. My shop said now, okay, we're going to put you the last Sunday of each month to play, and I said that's fine, that works out for us. So we'll have some consistent play as we move forward as well at
Okay,
our
that's
shop.
good.
Yeah, so it's really good. They're really keen. My shop is really keen to get it going. They said they've had some people who've moved from interstate to South Australia, and they've rung and said, hey, do you guys do heroclix? And so hopefully I can connect up with those people, and we can get them included. Like, we only had 4 today, but my son was going to play, but he had work he had like schoolwork he had to do, and his friend was going to come, but he had to stay at home and things like that. So didn't quite work out as many as I would like, but we'll keep working on that. I guess that's really what I like to do. But what we do have is a pretty fun small group that are really keen to play, so that's always a good thing to have.
That's good.
Yeah, the shop and the owner, he sort of like with prizes, so he gave us a booster, an Empire booster off the shelf, and we also had one of the play at home kits with the Wolverine and the map. And so the guy who played, and he's only in he'd be like 14, I think. He played the Deadpool and that, but he won the event, and so he took the booster, and in the booster he got Venom Iceman, so he was pretty stoked about that too.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so it's always nice when they pull something good out of one of the boosters. So yeah, so that was my gameplay. I've done a few other things over the time. My favourite game I had, I think, of late was playing the Nuke Clones again. I played a Nuke Clone team, and that's just great fun to run up and explode and take people out with. So I do like my generic armies as they go through. Yeah, so that's me. I guess I have everything's pretty good here. We've been back to school, and so work is busy again, and just trying to work on getting everyone in the class at the same time, and sometimes working online depending on how things go. But
okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah, it's been, we had the first sort of week and a half online, and then we went back into the classroom. So it was always nice to get back in the classroom and then be able to work with the kids. And then it was this week, some kids came up, Mr. Jones, are you doing heroclix again this year? And I said, well, I would like to. We just have to wait and see what happens with gatherings of people and things like that. And so, but I think that'll start off pretty soon again. So we've got people still interested, and we'll see what happens. It's always interesting working with kids, I guess, because they're interested to play, but it's in some ways it's a bit of a fad. Oh, this is really interesting, and then they find the next thing to go on with. I guess over time I've got a few people who have gone, oh, I really want to continue playing, and that's what we've got a few people at the shop for that, which is cool.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. So I've done my good, bad. That's all fine. Has there been anything you've been watching lately, Chris, that you've really enjoyed, or have you been listening to podcasts, you've been watching other things online?
No, you know what? I've fallen down the rabbit hole of, for one, World War III.
Okay.
So my heart goes out to all the Ukrainians, because I know a lot of them back home in Canada.
Yes.
So I've fallen down that of watching MSNBC and CNN and all that. But the other, I'm not going to go into more detail about that because that's just the sad thing.
Yeah.
But the other thing I've gone through is garage sale videos and what's the word I'm looking for? And action figure treasure hunters.
Action figure
and stuff like that. Yeah. So there's people that will go into a Walmart or a Target back home, and they'll have YouTube, or they'll video themselves, and they'll go through the shelves looking for action figures, for Lego, for anything like that. And it's actually kind of creeping up in my playlist for everything. So it's pretty good. Yeah.
And is that because you have an interest in collecting figurines, or you just like watching the hunt?
You know what? It's actually gotten me a little bit. I'm gonna start uh, looking for action figures to start a collection, and even Lego. I'm gonna start looking. I know it's gonna be another money pit to go into,
Yeah,
but I think it'd be something fun that I could share with my kid later on. So I figure why not?
yeah. Yeah. Lego was always I always like. Sorry, Lego. Um, South Australians always say it as Lego. I don't know if that's, but Lego. Um, I've always liked that, and I had a collection when I was, I guess, a kid. Then, sort of in my 20s, I restarted to ignite that fire, and then having my own children, it was like excellent. Christmas is Lego and Lego, and we're gonna So we got built up a nice collection of like Lego over the time, and now it's all
Yeah.
sitting in boxes. They don't want to play with it anymore, but it'll sit there, and then I guess later on, grandkids. I guess that might be the case, but that's hopefully a long, long time away from me. But we will hang on to it and keep it because it is valuable. Doesn't matter what era it is. It's just beautiful stuff to play with. So I totally get that.
All right. Cool.
Yep. For myself, I generally have like a heroclix game every week with one of my friends. Get another friend who comes over every couple of weeks. But we changed it up a bit, and I had, I guess, my old uni friends come around one day. There was four of
Okay.
us, and we used to play the Star Trek customizable card game, and so we pulled that out and had like a mini round robin tournament with that one night, and that was really interesting. Just to get back, it was a bit nostalgic playing it again, and it just felt really good. So that
Yeah, I
was
was gonna say that's pretty cool because I have some of those cards and I love them. I was never able to find anyone to play with me, but that's just reasons.
yeah,
Because my friends back home weren't geeks like me or nerds or whatever you want to call us. But I love those cards, and I feel bad that I left everything at home. But seeing you play that was pretty cool. I thought.
yeah. It sort of it took us down a yeah. It took us to a place where like, oh, this is really great. I remember doing this, and you're playing the characters, and you're going, yeah, this feels great. I remember doing this, and now it's sort of I moved my HeroClix out the way so I could spread cards out on my table and start making new decks and things like that. So I'm looking forward to doing it again, and
Yep.
yeah, and continuing to play it. So look, I've invested lots of money in it in the past, and it's sat in boxes for 10, 15 years. But it was really interesting to pull it back out again. I'd get some.
Well,
There you go.
yeah, no, that sort of goes into part of what I was going to start talking about here in a little bit is how do you part ways with some of your collections? Like you have everything boxed up. We got the HeroClix boxed up. I got versus card sets that I haven't touched because no one I know plays. But then I also got Legendary Marvel,
Yeah,
and I can get the wife to play it a couple times, but that's sitting in a box. Like I'm at the stage where I want to move some of my stuff on so I can put money towards the new stuff, like the action figures and Lego. So
how do you?
and the new sets of HeroClix coming out. How do you choose what to part with is hard.
Uh,
Or do you hoard it all?
yeah, I'm a dragon like that. I hoard all my stuff.
Oh, okay.
I can't help it. I'm starting to learn that I can just throw hero clicks in the bin, and I've started to do that a little bit more. Like going, okay, I've got 7 of this person. I don't need another one. Let's chuck it away rather than just hold on to it. But I do have lots of boxes of swaps and things like that. So it always, yeah, I can't help it. In all seriousness, I have a reasonable comic collection. I stopped collecting comics probably about 10 years ago, but I still have all my comics that I collected, for 20 years before that, and I just can't get rid of them. And it was so much so I was looking through Twitter and I remember that comic book, and I spent 45 minutes searching for it, but I did find it, and I was really happy that I found it, and then started to read it, and it was like, oh, this brings back all those memories again of I really enjoyed this comic. So, yeah, I'm a hoarder. and I will hold on to my stuff, and I assume that when I die, everyone else will throw it out.
That's most likely,
That's
because that's another one of the videos I've been going down is watching the people sending stuff to CGC, or is it CGC? No, CBCS or something like
yeah,
that for grading your comic books and your cards. And there's a guy on Facebook that opens up packs of Pokemon, and he pulls a $50,000 card. It's like, okay, this is getting my blood up a little bit.
yeah, and it's look, it's one of those things. It's I just can't. Yeah, okay, I just can't get rid of it, and I'm probably lucky I have a wife who makes me get rid of stuff, but she knows that there's some stuff I'll just always hold on to. So it's a balance, I guess, for me. Well, I think I see Bobby's joined us.
Yes, our boys commonly make the joke that I will be buried with the heroclix.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be that Venom Rogue that you're buried with.
That's right. That's completely it, dude. So true.
Welcome, Bobby.
Now, I'm just gonna, just so you know, so you don't have to go back and listen to the beginning of the podcast. I kind of submarined you a little bit, saying that you picked what boosters you got in the league. So
it was completely neutral. I sincerely swear. I was.
I don't know about that. I want to see
that number came up.
I want to see the video of it choosing. That's what I want. I am gonna make this into the Trump election. You didn't win.
Dude,
this is not a legal thing.
Trump, that's right. That's right. Yeah. You need to get state senates on your side and to overturn the results.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that Venom.
How's it going, Bobby?
Really good though. Good. Well, I mean, mind you, Queensland is now completely underwater. Kind of an all-day thing where, we can't. The lab is out in Gatton, right? The highway to Gatton is underwater. Had one of our staff members that lives out in that area that almost got evacuated by helicopter today because the water level.
Oh wow!
It's crazy. And unfortunately, it's not looking like it's going to stop. This is the next week of weather. I don't know. I don't know the business. So we're definitely.
Oh, you're cutting in and out there, Bobby. Okay. So yeah, I know it was pretty wet in Queensland. That they had lots and lots of rain. Yeah, I can't imagine it. The amount of rain they had in a short amount of time. It doesn't happen here in South Australia.
Is that any better?
That's a little bit better. Go for it, talk.
A little bit better. Okay. Yeah, we're the business is.
No, lost you again. Seems.
Good. Good job.
Yeah, no, it keeps cutting in and out, Bobby. Might want to check it again.
Yeah, sorry, bud.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah. No, you're cutting in and out a little bit.
Try this. Any better?
No.
No. That must be my. I'm trying to use the snowball model.
Yeah. No, it's cutting it out. Well, see how you go. We'll keep going and we'll keep talking. But yeah.
Is that any better?
That sounds better.
Better? Okay.
Cool.
I used the snowball microphone. That's what didn't work.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool. So it's super wet up where you are?
They're very flooded. And in fact, we haven't hit our area. Basically from the western suburbs of Brisbane all the way up. It's just under. So, and that's about an hour and a half. About an hour and a half of the countryside. It's just a swamp right. So, and we've had several people have had to get evacuated. A lot of hurry that it'll be like the 2000. So everybody's getting home. It doesn't get
Okay, cool. Well, hopefully you can stay dry and and yeah, and things will get better. But I guess it just takes a while with rain, and it's just, yeah, this Queensland. We know it happens, but and I know that after the floods a few years ago that they tried to make sure the water runoff was better, but obviously sounded like it was just too much rain.
I've been impressed that everywhere on the road, cameras that you can kind of log into to see the most recent picture of the water level. So I think that helps. People know where the water's high, so they're not trying to drive it.
Yep. Yeah, you don't want to be driving through high water at all. Well, we were talking about, I guess, what happens when we die with all our stuff. No, more so about how do we get rid of the collection if we don't have, if we're finished with it. And so that's where we're at, Bobby. Just to let you know,
it's kind of tough. It does feel like the secondary market for Clix is kind of. I think it's probably
Yeah, sorry, Bobby, you just cut out right now again.
I'll try again.
Carry
on.
okay.
I don't know if you want to try to restart, log in, log out.
Let me try.
So there you go. Okay. So, Chris, I don't know how you get rid of it. I guess eBay is the best solution.
Well, the whole thing is I was watching a video. I can't remember who it's from. One of the action figure guys, and he went through. If you keep something that makes you happy,
yep,
and if it keeps you happy, then you're good. There shouldn't be any issues. So for the last week and a half, I've been staring at the Hulk chase from Empire, thinking, am I ever going to play him? And then it's back and forth. Should I keep him because I'm a collector, or should I get rid of him because it's money sitting in a box that I don't use? So then I thought, you know what? Screw it. It doesn't make me happy. I'll put him up, and then start going through sets as I go about getting rid of things. So that's kind of what I'm doing.
No, that makes sense. Like, you just got to sometimes get rid of it if you don't want it.
Yeah.
Like, and if it frees up space and gives you money, hey, why not? It allows you to
move. It's money to put in something else. So
yeah. Yep. Yeah. I agree.
All right, let's see if Bobby works now.
Is that any better? Is that clearer?
That sounds clearer.
Sounds clear.
Okay, we'll see how we go.
Yeah, we need a couple sentences from you.
Yeah, I jumped off the Wi-Fi and used mobile data, so we'll see. Maybe this will be better.
It's probably your kids using up all the bandwidth is what
exactly. It is. I think the missus is streaming something in the other rooms. So that's what I'm
okay.
And, as everyone does, right? It's fine.
Yeah.
That's how this goes.
It's
now. I just made an example of looking
at
the Hulk chase. Yeah. Oh, so you got that part. Yep.
Yeah.
And then
that part.
Yeah, and then before you reset, you were saying something about the market, about the heroclix market. What were
so the secondary market? It does feel like well, I was just saying that it does feel like the secondary market for heroclix has disappeared, right? And I think that's probably a direct result of COVID, not really having any in-person events. The player base I do feel has legitimately shrunken by probably a significant amount, and honestly, unfortunately, I think WizKids has almost in some ways done it to themselves. And what I mean by that is back whenever you had a couple Marvel sets and one DC set a year, there was more incentive, it felt like, to collect full sets. And now it feels like that incentive is just gone. Because, like if you get a full set, they're going to have 3 others that are coming out this year. Or 5 others that are coming out this year. So why even try? Right? So I think that's probably been part of it as well. It feels like any more of that, basically, and it's probably the same, and it is, generally is the same with any collectible game. You have your super rares and your chases are what kind of quote unquote make up the value of purchases, right? But even those, it feels like the secondary market is so full of playable chases and super rares that unless you're, you know, and part of this is also, I think, there's been limited in-person events, right? So everybody kind of already knows what the current top tier kind of teams are, and unless your chase or your super rare is on those teams, I don't think anybody's really interested.
Yeah. You can't be like Terry and buy each and every set. I think it goes anywhere from 1,200 to 15 for a full set.
Something like
and
that.
you look back on Empire, you have
Yeah.
I don't know 10 pieces that are actually like really good playable, and you can probably get them for $300,
Yeah.
maybe 400
Yeah.
because that Venom Magneto is great.
Yeah. No, it's very valid. And it's like, so, that's 10 pieces out of a, 72 piece set. That really means that the full set value then is somewhat limited. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's a difficult thing. I tend to buy a lot of heroclix, and I probably shouldn't.
You also support a dozen or 2 dozen players out of what you purchase, though, right? Because
Yeah.
I mean, you still give a lot to the kids, and there's all kinds of.
And it was like that today in the shop. I was like, okay, well, I'll bring we had a guy who came. He joined and played House of X because he was into X-Men.
Oh, nice.
That's all he played. He just played that, and he asked today. He said he was because he was playing, I think, Pokemon or something like that. And he came along and said, where would you buy heroclix? Just if you want some singles and I said, why? What are you looking for? He goes, I'm looking for the Deadpool holding the shark. And I was like, oh, I may have one of those for you, and I can get it because I think I've got one of those for swap. I'm not sure. I got to go and check through my trades, but I was like happy to help him. And then I said, oh, later on his Swords of X is coming in, so he might come in and join in for that as well. So I'm just trying to encourage people to get along. But I just I do. I have lots. I'll get lots of heroclix, but then hopefully I can get rid of it to the kids either at school or at the shop. So, but it still doesn't help. It still costs me money to buy them, and that's probably the killer.
That is correct, sir.
and so you want sets that have value. And for me, a set like Empire had some value in it, because there was. You had your scrolls, so I like generics, and so I was able to get lots of scrolls. I was able to get a reasonable amount of the Kree soldiers as well, and because I like having those kind of teams to run. So that's why I'm looking towards the War of the Realms set. I'm not overly enthused by, because there's no generics in the set. And,
that is true. And honestly, several of the dials that have been in the set look like they would be perfect for generics, but they just didn't make them that way. No. And it's like, why? I mean, could you not have like a random dark elf or something running around somewhere? Come on.
Yeah, and sorry, Chris, you go.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I was telling Ben before we started that I bought into, I believe it was 12 boosters of War of the Realms, and I pulled 2 chases out of the whole thing. Like it was with Gloss Cabinet Hobbies. I love dealing with him. He's really good. He is very good to deal with. But the 2 super rares, they were the same super rare, and it's like, what's the point? Like I know it's a blind booster, it's a gamble, whatever, but just. Yeah, I don't know. There's just
12
boosters.
No
excitement.
So you go 12
leaves
boosters.
You a little jaded.
Yeah, 12 boosters, 2 super rares, and they're both the same super rare. You go, get a brick, and I get 10, and these some sort of almost guaranteed 3 super rares, and something else, whether it's a prime or a chase. I had kids at the shop, and one of the kids was going, I want to get a brick today, and I said. He goes, what should I get? I said, I'd probably, if it was me, I'd get Empire. Had reasonable pieces in it, and if you buy a brick of Empire, you probably guaranteed to get a chase, I believe.
I think that one was one chase per brick.
Yeah,
at least most time.
Yeah, I know. I was lucky and got a brick one time. I had some money at the shop, and gift vouchers and things like that, and yeah, I managed to get 2 chases in one of get a 2 chase brick, which was pretty amazing. But yeah, I sort of said that's probably your best value for money. Like you get a chase in there. He saw the Thor on the back of the pack and he's like, oh, I really want that Thor. I said, well, then that's probably the one you want to go for then, because he did like the look of that Thor chase. But
Nice.
yeah, but the War of the Realms set leaves me a little bit.
Yeah, iffy.
Yeah, I'll still get a case of it because it supports my shop and our shop supports me. But after that, I'm not too sure how much more I'll probably get of that, because it just doesn't look like a great set to play. Okay, that's probably wrong. I'll be interested to play it casually, but it's certainly not a high competitive set. I guess is probably the way to say it. So
I think it's very valid.
Yeah.
I ended up getting a case, and I'm I think shipping over from the States, and I've kind of been almost regretting it a little bit. But it's also been a while since I actually bought a case of heroclix.
Yep.
So I've just done singles for the last several sets, mostly because of the reasons we've been talking about. Chris was very right. Basically, I was able to spend like $100 and bar a chase or 2. I got, basically all of, I guess, let me think. I spent, I think, $200 and got basically all the singles I would want out of Empire, including Ultron Prime and a couple of chases. So,
yep, and that was sort of the pieces that you're really looking for. I know.
yeah, exactly.
Like, I went into the shop today and I just I feel like when I go in, I should buy some heroclix. I don't every time, but I did. I brought 2 packs of Empire. They had 2 packs left on the shelf, so I thought I'll grab those. And yeah, fortunately, like many times I think I went in and got 4 one day, and I got just all rares, and I was like, that was a great purchase. So the 4 packs.
Giving this away tomorrow.
Yeah, and it was like I was like, better go back and buy some more, because anything else would be super rares on the shelf. But yeah, today was one of those days where I picked up 2. We got 2 super rares. One was the Mr. Fantastic, and the other one was the Marvel Prime. So and I hadn't got the Marvel Prime, so that sort of almost paid for itself, and now I've got that piece up my sleeve as well.
Marvel Prime is really good.
He is really good.
The damage output is ridiculous.
Yeah, and just the fact that he can defend. He can take that hit.
That's
So
true.
I'm really looking forward to maybe one day playing him. But I was saying earlier on, I guess my major thing at the moment has been playing lots of commons and uncommon games, if that makes any sense.
Oh, nice.
That's what most of my teams are. So then with that in mind, I go, maybe War of Realms might be interesting if I'm just playing commons and uncommons, and I'll see how they mesh together. Because we're not playing high competitive stuff, we're just playing friendly, and that's what I generally do. So and I guess for all those people who are interested, I was looking at the distributor, and War of the Realms should be in Australia on Thursday, so that's March the 3rd. So hopefully
nice.
It should be here this week. And then
That's good.
yeah, and I always enjoy opening new heroclix, so I can't go wrong with that. So we could probably circle back to where we were, Chris, because we sort of moved away. But yeah, so the collecting, I think Bobby's right. It's hard to get rid of heroclix on the secondary market. Other games like your Versus, like I have a Marvel game called Overpower, which is a card game I've just had sitting around for years.
I love that. That takes me back. I mean, still, I was a loner, so I didn't play with anyone, but I love those cards too.
Yeah,
I mean, they were basic, but they were, I don't know, cool.
They all work, and like just the visual design on Overpower, I always thought was really slick.
Yes.
Like, just the artwork and the way it kind of played with the layout of the cards, and the fact that you're laying the cards out to kind of link them together to do stuff. I thought it was always just a really cool little design that kind of probably didn't get its due.
No, not at all.
And so this just makes me happy that you guys even know what overpower is. So I'm going to talk to my fellow nerds because, like, I was like, we could play overpower, and everyone's like, what's that? I've never heard of it before. So it's good that you guys know exactly know what I'm talking about. And yeah,
you need a higher quality of nerd. Is what you need.
That's right.
Did you actually know that they're still making cards for that game?
Are they really?
Are they really? Holy crap!
Yep.
Seriously,
But the thing is it's player driven, so it's the players that are building the cards, and they're still same quality, same everything.
Wow.
I'm part of a couple of the groups on Facebook, and it's crazy. There's a big following for it.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Might have to,
don't you wish you could do that with HeroClix?
Yeah,
Print off our own.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because so thinking about that might be the way to find those groups. So like if you find a group that's still doing verse and say, hey, I've got these cards, does anybody want them? They might be the people to go to try to get rid of this stuff as well.
Yep.
Oh, I might have to look that up.
The funny thing is there's no Star Trek collectible card game group. I looked for one, I couldn't find one.
I know. I think there is. I'm pretty sure there is. I'm pretty sure again that's a driven by the community as well. I know that one time I posted something, it was many years ago now, and then someone contacted me and said, oh no, we still play Star Trek customizable card game, and I think they still do like national championships in Australia for it. So,
wow. That's crazy.
So I might have a look up and touch base with you. But yeah, so all these games, which I guess sometimes you think is dead, there's still that dedicated group of people that really enjoy playing it, and so they still do. So I'm pretty sure that's right with the Star Trek one. So now I'm interested to find out myself. So sorry, Bobby, we were talking earlier on that I pulled my Star Trek cards out earlier this month, and we had some friends around to play, and so it was just really good nostalgia time.
That's awesome. Yeah, the Spoils card game was the one dead card game I will always keep some decks of, just because I loved what they did with the resource management, and it always struck me as just an incredibly smart game.
What was that one?
In terms of like the Spoils.
The Spoils.
And I'll bring, dude, next time we get together. I mean, theoretically, people can travel now, right? I'll bring a couple decks because it's basically like Magic. It's very, very similar to Magic, but your characters have a speed rating as well, which determines when they get in combat. But you start on turn 2 with 2 resources of your choice. You can mulligan anything. And the biggest thing that they fixed was you can generally always just pay 3 mana to draw a card. So you never feel like... I mean, really, what's the problem with Magic is you're either mana flooded or mana screwed, right? And it generally felt like it fixed that whole dynamic.
I can say I've never played Magic. I tried to stay out of that. But I understand the mana thing. Or there was another game you had to have so much before you can do things. And...
Those spoil cards actually look pretty cool. I'm looking up them on.
It's a fun little.
It's cool ones.
Yeah, the artwork was fun, and it's very much PG-13 humor, which is both good and bad. But they worked in some truly hilarious crap in there on occasion. Yeah, it was like a collectible card game. You had like Homer Simpson quotes on cards, which was just cool.
Yeah. Here's one. It's called the One-Legged Hopping Pogo Bear.
Yep, that thing was awesome.
There's something you can't even say. This is hilarious.
Oh, it's a fun game. It's a very, very cool game.
Dragon Catheter.
Yeah. Yeah, you juice people up. Yoink was always one of my favorites because basically you steal a piece of equipment from a character, right? And it's just that's the card. It's called Yoink, so you just play Yoink. Good time, very good time.
Cool.
Oh, that's funny. This looks pretty good.
Just going, oh no, now I found a new thing I need to get into.
I have decks. Next time. That's it. It's oh dude, no, Yeah, but like I said, it was a very, and you had a thing where you could play any card face down as a resource, and then it just didn't contribute anything to like threshold, right? So, but
Okay.
which was fine. And honestly, there are a lot of cards that you could even, allowed you to then play around with your resource base. Like you could play it face down as a resource early in the game, and then later flip it back up whenever you had enough resources and you didn't feel like you were, resource screwed or resource starved. It was exceptionally well designed. So, but as all collectible games go, it did not. Never saw that one. Now I just looked it up. Frickin' sweet Pogo Bunny. So.
Yeah, I guess, and that's
Yeah, it's great game, great card.
collectible games can run out of steam or run out of people.
Yeah.
Like I guess, and heroclix feels that way in Australia at the moment. It's running out of steam and people. We got a dedicated core of people that really enjoy playing, but it's hard to get new people into the game. And we've got to just keep trying. And like as I said, my shop's just happy for us to come in and play. And we had a couple of people say, "Go, oh, what are you guys playing?" And then just trying to show them what we were doing, but it's hard in the middle of an event to go, oh cool, here, because I actually played today, which was good.
Nice.
So
yeah, we're down to, I know in Queensland the only two that have played recently was Wes and I, and we played last weekend. But there's just pretty much just two of us at this point that are interested around here, so we're going to try to find some new players somehow. It's hard to do that and still have a day job, right?
Yeah, and it's I think it's a hard game for people to get into. New people.
Yeah. Price point is not right.
Yeah. Certainly not in Australia. The price point is very high in Australia. Yeah. That's the way it is. So I was thinking, we get War of the Realms, and then the next heroclix set is Disney Plus. My understanding.
Yes.
And I know I've sort of been trying to keep some money aside for that.
That's going to be a big set.
That is going to be.
That one looks like. Yeah. That one looks like a blast. It really does.
Yeah, I was seeing some photos earlier on of the the miniatures game that they always do with the last few sets, and they were looking really great with the with figures from the What If set and things like that. They look really cool. I guess I have a concern about it though here in Australia because I haven't seen it on the distributors list. So when I go have a look at icons, it's not even there as a solicit, which I found.
Do we have a release date set in the States yet?
I think so. I've got a fear. So I'm not quite sure, and it'd be something I'd probably have to investigate. But with it being a Disney license, maybe they haven't.
That could affect it too.
Maybe
I know some of the previous movie sets have been like, this is releasing tomorrow kind of situation because of licensing issues. So that could be a factor.
Yeah, and so I'm still hoping to see it at the distributor at some stage. I guess it was this, like, I thought back on this and thought, well, we never got WWE figures here in Australia. And I think that was because of maybe a licensing agreement that WWE has with someone else or something. I'm not quite
sure. In Australia, that could be valid.
And so I guess I'm just sort of putting out there, and we may have to prepare to get our Disney Plus from overseas. If it doesn't make it to our
sadly shores. Kind of valid, yeah. Well, let me know. We can do a bulk buy. I don't mind.
Yeah, that sounds good, especially with trying to get things posted from the States at the moment. It's a bit tricky. I found it to be tricky.
It is, yeah.
So I just thought I'd put that out there for you guys and anyone else that's listening that I'm feeling a bit iffy about Disney Plus getting to Australia through our distributor, but hopefully
that's valid.
I'll keep an eye on it and see what happens. Because it's a set I'm really excited for, actually.
Yeah. Oh, the Disney Plus shows have been amazing. They've been really good. They've been really good. So,
and
I want these pieces because it would be really fun to play with. Maybe I think I can get my teenagers back into playing heroclix with us. Right?
Yes, because they would have watched. Say, oh, good, I can play with these. Yeah, I was Yeah, I was talking to I mentioned it today at the shop, and the kids are like, Disney Plus, are we getting Disney characters? And I said, no, not having Mickey Mouse and stuff. It's the Marvel stuff. Oh, the Mandalorian. I said, no, the Marvel stuff, guys. Even though the Mandalorian would be pretty awesome, but
That's right. Loki is a Disney princess now.
that's right.
Oh, that would be spectacular.
That's right. So yeah, I guess that was. I just wanted to share that with you guys to let you guys know that I'm still a bit iffy, and for me, the eternal wait for WWE Wave 2 to come out, because I would really like some more Clix.
It's never coming out.
It's
never coming out.
Yeah, it's just never.
I've got that feeling
No.
that it's never going to come, but I can always be hopeful.
Here's hoping. That's right. Here's hoping. Hopefully, we're proved wrong this time.
I did play them just earlier this year again. I played just WWE Clix against each other, and they are just great fun. So
They are. They
Yeah.
really are. They were well designed, like legitimately well designed.
Yep, I agree. And I know the legacy cards in the War of the Realm set that I think it's the Wrecking Crew guys have a similar trait to it. I haven't quite investigated yet, but I look forward to maybe getting one of those cards and seeing that. But yeah, it was a good trait that WWE won. Really useful. Okay, so
All right, so
You go.
Oh, sorry. Disney Plus is coming out. Should be March, probably in the States.
right,
Who knows?
Then X of Swords will be in June.
and I look forward to X of Swords. Lots more equipment and
That looks really good. Yeah, I'm
And-
excited
Yeah,
for X
and
Swords as
then-
well.
tarot cards.
And that's all that's up on the releases for
That's all it's
2022.
about.
Yeah,
They haven't said anything else, have they?
No, they haven't, which is kind of odd for them. If you think about
I guess this game is dying. Yeah,
it.
they're not doing it anymore.
It's all right.
It's a dead
Just
game
nothing.
now.
Oh, it's all right. Just nothing. Just nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only two sets out there.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, we haven't heard anything about a DC set for the year.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. Is they haven't. There's been no mention of a DC set yet this year. So be
It
interesting to
is
see how
funny
it
though,
goes.
is X of Swords is a storyline OP kit.
Yeah.
There's 3 months of it.
Yep. So
Yes.
think
Yes.
there's-
yes,
I couldn't quite work it out, but it looks like there's sort of like there's the main set that you can buy, and then you can buy
Miniatures game.
Yep.
boosters to get into the storyline kit. I'm not quite sure, and that's something.
Yeah, huh.
And it could be the way it was originally proposed, at least in the description. It reminded me a lot of the old, what was it, Fear Itself, where you had OP boosters, right? Or Avengers versus X-Men, right? Same thing.
Yeah,
Because the store could basically buy a case of the OP kit, right? And then you basically had to go to an OP organized play event to have access to buy those boosters.
yes, and that's I'm hoping that's what it feels like it would be like, but I'll look forward
Yeah.
to seeing what it actually turns out being.
Yeah.
And whether we can get the OP kits here in Australia is the other thing as well. So I'll be keeping an eye on the distributors to sort of see if it's coming through. But it does sound like it'd be interesting.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, some of those, I love the idea of the tarot cards. And I don't think they've fully described how you pay for them or how you play them. But several of the effects, kind of mess with the base rules of the game, right? Which I think is cool.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed that kind of mechanic, right? They seem like, I mean, this is dating me, but like the old Battlefield defeats, right? Or Battlefield conditions. Yep. So, which I always thought that was fun, right? Because kind of a different way to play the game.
Yeah, and you come in and you had, I remember you could bring like 3 into a tournament, but you couldn't use the same one twice, and so you sort of really picked and choose when you want to use your ordinary day to make it everything straightforward, or whether you wanted to use damage. I can't remember which one. Damage control. I always liked the one where I could put extra objects on the map and things like that. So it was. they added an extra feel to the game, and
I think so.
I still think they're still fun. And look, you can still play them in your casual, but sort of the game sort of moved a bit past them. But these look to be updated versions, which will add that little bit more spice to how we play.
Mm. It'll be very interesting to see if they are meta. And looking at some of the previews of it, some could very much have teams based around them, or whether or not they'll actually like sway high level competitive play. Because I think they could. I think there were several on there that you would basically build a team towards, right?
Yeah.
But again, they haven't really described what the mechanic is for bringing them in, right?
And how you use them, and so we'll just have to wait and see. But look, I guess it's one of those things. They continue to add new ideas and concepts to the game. Yeah. Some of them work. I'm still not taken by Recruiter as something they've added to the game. I just don't like the idea of giving the person points to bring someone in, and then I guess they can kill them and earn those points again.
I think situationally it would be really good, right? I mean, if it wins you a game outright,
yeah,
then it's worth doing, right? If it gives you an extra body on the field that all of a sudden, you're going to be able to ride that to victory. But I've not seen a way that. I've not been smart enough to find a way to do that yet.
Yeah,
so
it's not something I would rely on. It'd be something that would be, oh cool, this actually happened and I can do this now. But certainly not something that I would be relying on too much. So I'll be interested to see what these different mechanics will be with the tarot cards, and we're going to get lots of swords as well as weapons. So it does look like it'll be a really fun set. Other than being, and don't get me wrong, I like X-Men, but other than being another X-Men set, like we've had a fair few, we've had a fair few sets over the last.
It is half of what you play in HeroClix now. It's just X-Men. Just assume it, right?
Yeah. Well, it's that or Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah,
it's valid. It's very valid.
It's really interesting, before, I guess before Dark Phoenix, it was X-Men and it was Avengers and Captain America and all that, and then all of a sudden they got the licenses back, I'm guessing, and X-Men and Fantastic Four, X-Men and Fantastic Four, and we better throw an Empire, but we better keep some X-Men and Fantastic Four characters in that as well. And it's a sad thing to say, but I'd love to see another Avengers set of some type, but I think I
guess Marvel Knights is kind of a property they haven't done recently. That could be a thing.
Yeah. And they've had some good storylines. They've had storylines like, I think the Kingpin, the Devil's Reign or something like that, which is more that street level stuff, and so they got stuff to base it on. So I think Anyway, sorry, now I'm starting to ramble. Okay.
Hey, still not as bad as Raph coming up with bullshit things halfway through an episode, so we're still good.
We still love you, Raph. You're amazing.
Always enjoyed I did always enjoy his randomness, which is always great fun.
Well, I did send him a message and say, hey, I hope he enjoys this show, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how he likes it.
Yeah, cool. So I think that almost drags us to an end, unless there's anything else that people had to talk about. I know we sort of talked about a bit about the collecting. Did you? I was going to ask you, Chris. Is there any action figures you like want to hone in on, or is it just happy to get any action figure? Like a Joe guy, or Transformers, or a Star Trek?
No, it's actually pretty much anything. I think I'm not really focusing on one, so we'll see what happens. There was like a Joker from one of the DC sets that just recently came out, and it just looked like shit to me. So it's like, no, we're gonna stay away from that.
Yep.
But some of the other ones I've seen are actually really, really, really nice. So whatever fancies my, whatever fancies my, whatever you want to call it. I was gonna say something dirty, but I couldn't think of anything. I'm tired.
That's fair enough.
Whatever tickles your fancy at the time. There we go.
There
you go. Yeah, that's a little more PG than what I was gonna say. Actually, one question:
Yeah.
One of the guys I used to play with, he's all into collecting the action figures. Sorry, I just got shushed by my wife because my kid is just finally asleep. Um, if you are collecting figures, do you leave them in the box or do you take them out to play with them, or not play with them, but display them in different things? What would you what do you guys do, or what would you do?
A valid question.
I know, a very valid question, eh?
That is a valid question. I have a Funko Pop it's a Punisher War Machine Funko Pop that
Nice.
Max, our 12-year-old, got for me for Christmas like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. He's still in the box just because I've not found the proper way to display him, right? So I guess maybe, I don't know. I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah, it's hard to say, eh?
Yeah,
It's just,
mine comes
tough.
Mine comes down to being situational. I will grab. Okay, so I probably don't. I don't get action figures like I used to, but I would grab them and I'd leave them in their boxes. And I still have a lot of action figures in boxes, but then every once in a while I get inquisitive, and then I have to open one and play with it and see all parts of articulation, just all little things that go about it. I know I've got I had in a box for a very long time Jay and Silent Bob, because I really enjoyed them, but I had to get him out one stage to at least press Silent Bob's button on his back so he could talk, but obviously he's Silent Bob, so he doesn't talk. It's just little things like that I just wanted to test out.
Yeah.
But if I've still got a fair few things in boxes, I must say, but I do have just as many things out. Hopefully I've kept the right ones in the box, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's the thing, right? So I bought Vulture Marvel Legends, and it was $25 cheaper than what it could have been on Amazon. So I'm like, okay, perfect. And then I'm thinking, do I buy two, one to play with and then one to display? But I'm like, I better not. The wife is already going to divorce me for some other stuff, so I better just keep it clean. So I just got the one, and then it's in a box right now. And maybe if I get some more, I'll throw some pictures and do some stuff like that. And so.
Yeah, the collecting of action figures is another whole thing, and I watch I think Alan collects Transformers, and he's always sort of getting like one that can be a complete thing and he can put away, and then one that he can be a complete thing and have on display as well. So
Wow.
yeah, that's a costly business, but he really enjoys it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's
That's what
another
matters.
money pit.
It is another.
That's right.
Doesn't he have a YouTube channel now for doing that?
So
Toy Tornado or something?
So Anthony, so not Alan, but Anthony and one of his friends, they've started up their Toynado YouTube channel where they share a different action figure from their past that they really like, and it's short, sharp, and shiny, and it's really
and not like this. Not like this episode or any of our episodes. None at all.
Not like our rambly episodes, but and I've certainly tuned in and watched. I think I've got to watch the latest one, so I'm not quite sure what it was. The last one I watched was about the rock people that Anthony used to collect. So and that's a passion of I know that's a big passion of Anthony's, is collecting figurines. So it's right where he's at. So it makes total sense.
Cool.
Okay, is there anything Bobby, you got anything else?
So I mean, if you guys want so actual heroclix. So interestingly enough, I played with Wes and like I said last week, and I wanted to do a competitive team, and I did what I thought was a pretty competitive build with Ultron Prime, Fulcrum Abominus, Danger Room Magneto, and the Sentinel that's the vehicle. So Sentinel Alpha 1, I want to say.
Yeah, I know.
And he tore it apart, which he was playing double Super Skrull the scroll general, and then like another random scroll. And those super scrolls are just like the shape change on a 4 through 6.
Yeah.
It's really good. Like I underestimated, and the fact that they have, can pick plasticity and can tie people up and can choose like invuln and it's just a lot to get through. I was surprised about how competitive Super Scroll really felt. So that's something to watch out for.
No, he.
And then like if the scroll general is if someone wins, if you're trying to target someone with shape change and they win the shape change roll, you can't retarget someone with the same keyword that turn.
Yeah, and being all scrolls, that's turnover, pretty much. Because you can't do it. Yeah, no,
it was competitive. I was very impressed.
I pulled 2 of those and kept both of them because they go together really nicely. They really do.
They really do. Yeah, and I don't get me wrong. I'm sure I could have played smarter somehow. Yeah, it was. He kind of rolled the robots. I was impressed. Something to keep in mind for competitive builds, should anybody be looking for one.
Yeah, and I guess what we know is that here in Australia it's probably not as high level competitive as it is in the States. Because I look at some of those teams and go, man, I do look at the Brad Boyles thing because he runs that on a Friday night, and that's
broadcast.
And that's a Saturday morning here, and I'm like, I could probably do that. I could sit here on a Saturday. We don't do much on a Saturday. Saturday's our rest day, and I could sit here and play. But then I look at the teams and go, I don't know if I really want to get involved in that because it just looks crazy.
It is kind of it does look like a bit of a meeting. It's been interesting, and in fact, just this last week, it looked like one that I was. What do I know, right? But it was definitely a team that I thought was somewhat unexpected that won it. One second, I'll pull it up. I can't remember what it was. But team like second was the X-Men swap.
Yeah.
Third was kind of Blackheart and other stuff. So
I reckon it was like
that means
a Thanos team.
Yeah, it was a Thanos team. Yeah, it was a Thanos team. It was the Legacy Thanos plus, and I thought there was one figure on there that I thought was a pretty smart, a very different choice.
I reckon
Mariah Hill.
Maria Hill.
Yeah, it was Maria Hill, Thanos, and then swap Doom, which beat out robots and beat out X-Men swap. So it was pretty impressive.
Yeah. And so they're there, and I've probably just got to jump in the deep end one time and give it a go. It doesn't matter if
I think you'd do fine.
Yeah, and I'm sure I would. It's just it's the experience of playing, and that's would be valuable. But I get cold feet. And I go, oh no, that all looks too hard. And
dude, we'll have to do a Saturday, and we'll both jump in.
Yeah, we probably.
Because you're right, it's a very workable. It's a workable time zone.
Yeah,
I'd be fine. I'd be fine.
Friday night over there, so I go. Yeah, I remember. I think I was sitting here doing reports last year, and I was just watching Daniel Power when he was playing because he was streaming, and I was like, just had it running in the background as I was writing reports out. So, oh yeah, cool. That's what's happening now. Because like most of the games on Roll20 is like. Nothing happens for like 5 minutes, then all of a sudden it's a quick move, flurry, and then nothing happens for 5 minutes. It's a quick.
But then you're right. 5 minutes, something dies.
Yeah.
What just happened? Hold on a second.
Yeah, we probably have to try that. But no, that's cool. I'm glad that you and Wes got to play in person as well. It's always such a better experience to play in person.
It was good. We did a casual 3-player game at the same time. We got Gabe to play in that one, our 16-year-old, which was really good. But Wesson had a fun team kind of based around the Brood Queens, and he spat out so many brood. There was at one point we took a quick count, and there had been 8 brood spawned and killed in the game. And it was just ridiculous. Yeah, it was just ridiculous.
That sounds like the kind of game I like playing because that's good fun. That's good fun gaming.
Yeah, it was very fun. It was good for the soul. Clix is good for the soul. That was the key takeaway.
It is.
It's good for the soul, bad for the wallet.
That is also valid. Like so many things, right?
That might be your quote for this week, Chris.
It may be. There you go.
You know
It's
what?
just
I don't
good
even
for the
have
soul,
one.
bad for the wallet.
Yeah, we'll have to go with that. I'll quote myself.
Quote yourself? That sounds fair.
Yeah.
Okay, well, boys, I've really enjoyed talking again. HeroClix, just catching up has been really great. I know, as I said at the start, we've been on hiatus for a few weeks as we've probably tried to work out a time to connect on, and then with the busy schedules that we're on. But we look forward to continuing to try this out. And I've really enjoyed having a chat, Chris and Bobby. It's been really good.
It's been good,
It's been
man.
awesome.
It's a great chat with you guys. Absolutely.
And so if we sort of, we'll head towards the end. So Chris, did you want to use that quote?
Yeah, we might as well. What was it again?
HeroClix is good.
HeroClix, good for the soul, bad for the wallet.
Yep, and
There we go.
I totally agree.
If we have next time we actually have a nationals, we'll have to get that on the t-shirts.
I'll start designing that tonight. As we bring another episode to a close and turn off the Barbie, we would like to thank you for tuning into the show. Have a great week, and remember that even a poor plan is better than no plan at all. Thanks for listening.
Thanks. Keep your sticks on the ice.
Okay.